morning, guys. I know we were going to do part 3 of time travel this week, but that's going to have to wait because something big happened this last week. Roy Horn, one of the biggest magic entertainers of the last century, of Siegfried and Roy, he contracted COVID-19 and died this last week. So what I did is I reached out to a friend of mine who grew up knowing both Siegfried and Roy, has a lot of great stories and anecdotes. Taylor Reed of Branson, Missouri, remembering Roy of Siegfried and Roy.
So my mom and dad saw Siegfried and Roy at the Hallelujah Las Vegas at the MGM, and they came back home and they said, "You're not going to believe these guys. Siegfried and Roy are the greatest magicians we've ever seen. You've got to come see them." So they took me to Vegas a few years later, and it was at the Stardust Hotel, and it was a topless show for adults only. So my dad had the brilliant idea of buying me a mustache with some little glue and putting it on with a suit. And he paid to get me in, and it worked. So I got to see the whole show. It was amazing. It blew my mind. And then the following year, I wanted to meet them so bad that my mom and dad, well, my dad's a crazy guy that called Lynette Chappelle every day and said, "Please let me have my boy meet Siegfried and Roy for a photo op." So I go back to the Stardust. I get to go backstage and hang out with Siegfried and Roy in their backstage home. It was awesome at the Stardust Hotel. Siegfried and Roy had this beautiful room back there. They taught me all about magic. They said, "Well, we got you here, Mr. Taylor. We're going to get you in the show tonight. It's an adult-only show, and we're going to slip you in during our bit, which is 30 minutes long. And we're going to slip you back out when it's over with." And they had no idea that we had already seen the whole show with a mustache the year before, so that was pretty cool. I came up with a great idea many years later because I got to hang out with them at the Mirage, and I said, y'all need to do something that will make y'all magically appear, because they used to always walk out with the birds, very simple. And I said, how about a major illusion to make y'all appear? So I had a sketch with these big plexiglass cylinders that would come down from the ceiling, fill up with smoke, and then go back up in the air, and they'd be standing there. And they ended up using that in the show. It was awesome.
They took your idea.
They took my. Now they did change some of the method.
How old were you when you
I must have been 21.
21 years old.
Yeah, maybe older. 21, 22.
And what would they have said when you gave them this idea?
They thought it was awesome. Yeah, Roy's always laughing. Taylor. So at the Frontier, I had this wonderful idea where Siegfried would be on a black horse, Roy would be on a white horse, and they would morph together and become a zebra. And it was pretty cool. I designed this for their show at the Mirage, and Roy thought this was very, very awesome. But he says, "Taylor, the horses are more unpredictable than even my cats." So I don't know a lot about animals, but I guess the horses can be pretty unpredictable. Siegfried and Roy were performing in Vegas for many years, and after all the years of them performing there, I eventually moved there, and I started building my own illusions, and I was trying to emulate them in the sense that I wanted to go large. And I've got many, many large illusions here. I've been performing in Branson now for 16 years, and we're currently performing at the Duttons Theater. And anyway, it's a great place to be. And anyway, look around at all these crazy illusions. I'll tell you what, all inspired from Siegfried and Roy.
At this point, it's tough to think about Roy Horn without thinking about the abrupt and tragic end of his career. October 3rd, 2003, when there was an accident with one of his beloved tigers.
2003, I took my wife out to Las Vegas for a great vacation, and that's when Siegfried and Roy had the accident. That's when the tiger attacked Roy. And a lot of our friends around Las Vegas were telling us Roy got attacked by the tiger. We heard it about 5 times, and we thought they were joking. And we went to Lance Burton actually over the Monte Carlo, and they go, they said Lance is already headed to the hospital. So we went to the hospital, and I talked to Lynette Chappelle. Everybody was just broken up. I saw Siegfried in the hallways behind the glass. Everybody was crying, and Lynette said it was just another show, but it's just something happened. To them it was just like they do it every day, all day long, sometimes a couple of shows a night, but this just happened to be very unfortunate. And that was their last show at the Mirage, and their show at the Mirage was the greatest show in the history of magic. I mean, even to this day, it literally, hundreds of miles of cable, literally it was way predated Circus LA. I mean, the stuff that they're trying to do now, Siegfried and Roy was just on top of the world. So one of the things that I remember most about Roy, believe it or not, is the keychains rattling. Because every time, no matter what age I met them over the years, there's always a wad of keys that were rattling as he were walking. So, I mean, he must have had many cages, all those animals, and he was in this door, out that door. He's a very busy guy. Siegfried would sit and talk to you for days about magic and illusions. Roy was always on the run. This guy had,
He didn't have guys taking care of the cats for him?
I'm sure he had many guys working for him. Yes, I know he did. But he was hands-on, this guy, definitely.
Still very personally involved.
Very personally involved, this guy. Roy was very personally involved. And I know one thing about Roy, he actually loved animals more than people. I know that for sure.